Alright, going to be bringing you a Deep Rock Galactic video, and this one's a little exciting because we're going to be talking about the new secondary weapons. Now, I don't know a whole lot about them. I think I touched on one or two in a news video from like the 4th anniversary dev stream, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the newest weapon actually today. It just came out, and then I'm going to go through the other ones. We're just gonna look at them and maybe talk a little bit about them. I'd actually talked to a friend of mine before I started recording this about what were their thoughts, and I might actually just read them word for word, as to what they think. There have been other people that say things, and I'm like, yeah, like that sounds actually like really dead on accurate. So like if you guys want to put something in the comments below to tell us what you think, yeah, please do. Alright, so let's go ahead and just see what this new weapon is. So obviously this has to be for the engineer. I literally have not watched this. I haven't. So I'm going to be watching this with you. First time. You've probably already seen it, maybe, or maybe you haven't, but let's go ahead and just hit play. Shard Defractor, okay. Alright, that's a good name. I don't know why. I see the word shard and I think short. Oh my. That is wild. It's like a crystal in the center. Holy smokies. That thing is funky looking. Oh. Oh, it's a beam. Okay. Wow. That is crazy looking. Alright, so it has a fun name. That is just wild looking. Can I back this up a little bit? See if I can pause it. Oh, that's perfect right there. Yeah, this thing just looks nuts. What a gizmo. It definitely looks like something that the engineer would use. What this is going to do exactly, I can't imagine that this is going to be long range just based on this quick little clip that we've seen here. It looks like the damage, just based on some other games that I've played, anytime that there's like a beam where you're like concentrating damage on something, it's usually very good. It's possible that this thing will like ramp up in damage. Maybe at first it will be slow, and then it'll the longer you hold it, the stronger it will get. Yeah, I know in games like Diablo 3, I played the wizard, and I really liked pretty much everything that was beam. So yeah, I'm pretty much instantly attracted to this. I think this looks really good. I'm curious if it will have any kind of like slowing effect tacked onto this. If the beam, if we go to here, like, did this beam actually go through? See, I can't really tell if it went through. Like, I'm curious if it will like quote pierce through things. That would be really sweet. And then what's the how damaging is this going to be to friendlies? I'm also kind of curious about. So yeah, the range it's definitely a big question mark. I can't imagine that this is going to be very far. But yeah, I mean this weapon looks really sweet. The overclocks could be anything. I mean, maybe there could be like a triple beam split, maybe like a thicker beam. It's hard to say. That is wild looking. Oh, okay, and it looks like it's got like a recharge there. So I'm actually curious. Like, do you have to completely deplete it, or can you just, could you like pop, pop, just yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, this looks like they're just like holding down the trigger. And then what is that green bar too that says, was it like battery? I wonder if that's just like a visual thing, or if that actually has any kind of effect on gameplay. Yeah, I think this looks great. I'm looking at this for the first time. I think this one might actually be my favorite. I thought the crossbow was for the scout, but like this one's looking like, yeah, I just think that's really cool. So when it's a secondary weapon though, like, how secondary is a secondary going to be? So like the breach cutter, right, is a real butt kicker of a weapon. It doesn't feel like a secondary in that it's like a pistol. Like that thing is just like a, that's a face melter. As this kind of looks like it is as well. I'm kind of curious how this will differentiate. I don't know if I pronounce that word right. If I, how's this going to be different from the breach cutter? It's yeah. I feel like I have a lot more questions than maybe answers. Obviously, like I can only guess as to what it's going to be, but yeah, that looks pretty wild. So I never really did too much in other videos touching on the other weapons, so I just want to take a look at some of these as well. So I think this was the very first weapon that came out, or the first weapon that they released. And this is for the Scout. So Crossbow, right, in a futuristic game is definitely interesting. That kind of older tech in the future, and I really like that. I think that's cool. I think it's unique. When you got a crossbow here, this definitely seems like something that's going to be long range, right? I mean, it's a crossbow. It has to be. What else could it be? I don't know how crossbows work in real life necessarily, but I thought this whole mechanism gave it a lot of oomph, So, yeah, I just can't see it being anything else other than long range. And since the Scout already has the M1K, maybe this gun would not be the most complementary to that gun. Maybe this actually will complement the GK2, kind of. I mean, I kind of feel like the GK2 is kind of, all around. So maybe this would actually be the perfect complement to the Drac. I'm also kind of curious with this, because it's kind of like, are you going to shoot a single bolt? And I think, let me just play it. I could have sworn that at the end, it looked like he picked it up. Or maybe I'm just thinking that he did that. But yeah, the weapon looks sweet. It looks like it does good damage, right? It just one-shot that grunt right there. That's another one-shot on a grunt. Okay, this part, right? Could he... Yeah, he picks it up. Okay. Will you get 100% of your ammo back? Yeah, I would assume you do, but maybe not. At the very least, you're going to get something back. So, economically... Just keep it there. Economically, it looks like this is going to be really nice. And, like, you can almost tell, like, this point, like, are you going to be able to modify this, with an overclock to add, I don't know, like a grenade or something? Like, could this potentially give us some AoE, maybe? Some sort of, like, exploding arrow? I have a background, I guess you could say, in a lot of, like, action RPGs, like, your kind of Diablo and Path of Exile type of games. And the things that you can do with arrows is incredible. So like there could be like a freezing arrow, a fire arrow. I'm not really sure what electricity might do, but I think maybe we might be looking at something that gives us some AoE. And is this 6? So what does that mean exactly? If I could play this, does he shoot another one? Yeah, so it went from 6 to 5. So. Yeah, that's really interesting. So you don't get like a ton of ammo here, but obviously, it was one-shotting them. Let's just, if we go back a little bit more, was this actually one-shotting them? Like, was it face only, or was it just... Nah, see, that one was not the face, right? It looked like he hit like his shoulder or something. That's definitely like more of a body shot. I don't think I went far enough back. Alright. Yeah, that was like his arm or like his shoulder. Was this... That one could have been his face. Yeah, I mean, so it's crazy. Like, who knows what the possibilities are going to be with that overclock? And let's touch on another one. This is the arms core. Okay, so this was the gunners. Take a look at this. I think I did play this in another video. I think actually what I liked most about this one is that it like ripped up the terrain. I wouldn't mind if someone else got some ability to kind of clear some dirt. But yeah, I think in the dev stream that they said that this rivals, or this like is the most... No. I think they said it's the most powerful handgun in the game. So it will rival the revolver. Yeah, dude. Look at that. That was gross. That's a Praetorian. Oh! So did he hit it before, though? So is this really like a 2-shot? So that one... Okay, that would have been 1. Still, though, a 2-shot on a Praetorian with a secondary. I mean, I guess that's kind of like the Breach Cutter, right? I mean, the Breach Cutter could more or less 2-shot a Praetorian. So it's not totally unheard of, but it's nice that, you know, the guy with the big guns is going to get some big damage. I've always kind of felt like his burst was a little lacking. Um, well, I mean, at least compared to the engineer, it is, right? So, seeing this display makes me really happy. Like, I'm glad. I think this weapon was needed. Oof. But yeah, I'm very curious if you can get an overclock or a mod or something that is going to, I don't know, maybe tear up this terrain a little bit more. Yeah, I know for those refinery missions, not that you're dependent on a driller, and not that you're dependent on an engineer to get those pipes going, but yeah, without them, the challenge is definitely greater, or at the very least, the speed at which you connect the, or, make, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be, yeah, so I just feel like something that would kind of like rip up the ground or the walls would be kind of cool. So yeah, it seems like this is kind of like, charge, boom, kind of gun. And what's the, oh yeah, and this was the wave cooker. Now, I think they did say in the 4-year anniversary stream that this was a precise long-range weapon, which kind of blew my mind because I can't really think of any guns that are really long-range for the driller. I mean, I guess technically you can shoot the, the EPC and the other gun that I don't pronounce ever. I guess you could technically shoot that from distance, but that's not really what they're for, right? I mean, so this is actually, in my opinion, going to complement his primary weapons, maybe better than any of the other two secondaries. If what they're saying is true, I kind of remember the show off of this gun though wasn't really long range. I just love how his hand is in it. That is just so like thematically good. Yeah, I mean that looks really close, but there's nothing says that it can't go further, I guess. I mean that's what they said. That's a long range precision weapon. So I think that would be a great complement to to his primaries that are basically just kind of spray weapons, more or less. I guess the sludge gun isn't really, you don't spray that, but you know what I'm saying, right? I mean, those weapons are not precise weapons, and this one is, so I feel like this would really kind of balance out his kit there. Alright, so let me come back to the first one here, and I actually, a friend of mine, Kazi, he provided me, he gave me some notes, and I actually just want to read some of these. So the first one he was talking about is the Scout's Crossbow, and I'll just go ahead and play that so you have something to look at here. Well, maybe I'll just hit rewind a couple times. So he wrote, the Scout Crossbow is a long-range precision option to go along with the GK2 and the Drac. I definitely agree with this. It looks like it's got to be long-range. I mean, it's a crossbow. Precision, I think that's also true, or most likely will be true, because you're only shooting 6 shots. I've never shot a crossbow in person, but they look like they're made to hit the mark. Will it go along with the GK2? I think anything probably goes along with the GK2. So, I agree with him there, but I definitely think this might be the complement to the Drac. I don't see this being maybe as nice, or as pairing up as nice with the M1K, only because like the M1K is already doing the ranged, but who knows? If there is in fact an overclock for this that will maybe give it some sort of like AoE frost damage, then heck yeah, this pairs up nicely with anything. So, that's assuming, right? That's a big assumption. I don't know if that's going to happen, but based on some other games that I've played, that there's only like so many avenues they can really go down. But they have surprised me in the past. Pretty much all of these weapons have surprised me. So, who am I to say what it's actually going to be? But those are just my guesses. So what else did he say here? He said maybe some natural penetration, or maybe getting that with an overclock. Yeah, I think. So like even in Diablo 2, right? The Amazon got some sort of arrow that penetrated through stuff, so you could essentially shoot one and get multiple hits. I don't know if it'll quite work like that, but you shoot it and it goes through 1, 2, 3, however many targets are in a line. And so that would be really neat. He said explosive bolt over. Sure, yeah, that makes sense. Like putting a grenade at the end of that thing. I don't know if you guys played like Zelda. You could do like the arrows and the bombs kind of at the same time, depending on which version you were playing. So that was kind of neat. So yeah, maybe something like that. He also said something. Oh, maybe like some poison. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if maybe instead of shooting one bolt, maybe you shoot 6 bolts at once, like in like in a wave, or like a span or like an arc or something like this. So yeah, that would be cool. All right, so let's talk about. Let's go back to this one. So I'm gonna read his notes on the gunner's secondary. So he wrote. I'm gonna turn this down. He wrote long-range precision option to offset primary inaccuracies. Penetration of enemies and terrain gives snipe opportunities to get rid of specials and big enemies. Yeah, I think that's pretty much spot on. I think that's what he needed. Um, I think that would complement what his main guns are. Yeah, I just yin and yang. I think that would be great. Long-range precision option. Yeah, that seems like both. I guess the driller and the gunner really didn't have that, so giving them that, I think would round them out nicely. I wish I could say more as to what I think it's going to be. It's sky's the limit, though. I wouldn't mind seeing. Yeah, I think I've already said this like 10 million times. I want to see destructible. Like I want to see terrain get ripped up with this gun. Will it do that? I don't know. Just that little hole might be the best thing that we see. But yeah, it looks like a gun that's going to take out the big nasties. I've always had a problem when I'm playing gunner taking out something like a Praetorian. So when I see this, yeah, I'm kind of instantly drawn to it. Like I want to switch from the revolver to this. Yeah, me personally, I always like taking out bigger enemies. I think that's why I kind of gravitate towards the scout as well. So a gun that can help me take out oppressors, Praetorians, maybe even bulk detonators. I'm all about that. I do think that this maybe is. I don't know if it's more perfect than the driller's weapon in terms of like complementing his main guns, but it's nice. It's really nice. I like it a lot. Okay, so then we're gonna move on to this bad boy. Let's turn this down. So. Let's see, Kazi wrote, microwave gun, more range than primaries. Yeah, I mean, the devs, they literally said that that's what it's going to be. Maybe some armor break / ignore, okay. And then an overclock for a wider beam, sure. Or range, or slow, or stun. And he talked about like a lasso, so that's really curious. Yeah, that all very may well be true. I really wish they showcased the range in this video. It just looks like it's kind of close, and I wonder like how hard is this going to be to aim? Like when I'm looking at it, I'm not even sure how he's connecting with the target. Am I not seeing the crosshair? Do they not have them? I can't wait like 2 seconds, can I? Here we go. Right, like where's the crosshair? Did they hide it on purpose, and that's why we're not seeing it here? I mean, like, everything else looks like it's hidden, so maybe that's why. Yeah, Yeah, and that's like, it's hitting multiple targets at once. You know what we also don't know is, like, which overclocks, if any, are they using for these? I mean, there's just so many, it's hard to say, like, I'm not on the development team, but, that, it looks fun. It looks really fun. And then, did he say something about... Okay. So he did say something. Engine, he called it the beam of death. Yeah, I like that. Ranged, single target DPS. Maybe slow or stun. A wider beam, or an overclock that... Like, basically, like a charge up, like... Push. I don't know about that one. I think the charged kind of big boom shot is probably going to be reserved for the gunner, but it could happen. I don't know if you guys ever played Skylanders. I know it's not cool for me to say, but I did play that, and there was a particular character that actually had a beam, and it would actually lock on to enemies. So as long as you were kind of pointing in the general direction, it would it would find the targets for you, and it was actually kind of perfect for bosses because you could create like this tether between you and them. So you could you could move, shoot, and do insane damage, which kind of looks like the case here. So, anyways, definitely interesting weapons. I'm excited about these. I'm very curious about what the overclocks are going to be. My imagination is kind of weak, so I can't tell you what they're gonna be. I don't think anyone really knows. It's all kind of speculation. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. I've really been enjoying the commentary on the especially the last couple of videos, and some more of you have actually reached out to me on Discord, and I love chatting with y'all. So if you want to take it to there and talk about what the new weapons are going to do, yeah, let's do that. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to have all the links in the description. If you could please give their videos some views. I don't know if me restarting these is going to help them out any, but it's their stuff, and I want them to get the credit too. So thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned for more.